In our first story, residents of Sookie in the Lambose district of the Upper West region have expressed fears that they may not be able to benefit from government's flagship program of planting for food and jobs if government fails to come to their aid. The Forestry Commission has compulsorily taken over 500 acres of land that belong to the community and turned the land into a forest. The situation has since left the people of the area virtually unemployed, forcing youth in the community to migrate to the southern belt of the country for greener pastures. Upper West Regional Correspondent Rafiq Salam visited the community and now reports.
Located 26 kilometers at the eastern corridor of the Lambose district of the Upper West region is Sookie. The landscape of Sookie is flat and low-lying with an average height of 300 meters above sea level. It has an approximate population of a little over 3,500 people. The mainstay of the people over the years has been through subsistence farming. Their livelihood, however, is now being threatened due to the compulsory takeover of their farmlands by the Forestry Commission. Huoro Yiriminuzime George Nwawese is the chief of Sookie.
The community land has been taken away by forestry. It's under forestry now. Between Sookie and the places, the forestry land has occupied the part they should do, the land that they are going to use. Maize will do very well in the land, on the land. They can also plant soya beans. They can also plant cotton and other crops, cereal crops. I think these crops can help the community.
Assemblyman of Sookie electoral area, Balebe Basirma Emmanuel, noted that due to the compulsory takeover of the farmlands, most of the youth are forced to migrate to the southern belt of the country in search of greener pastures. The rest, who could not make it, are idling at homes, seated under trees or playing local games.
We've written series of letters to a forest commission for them to release even a part of the land for us to engage in our agricultural activities. But anytime we try it, it doesn't come to pass. Our people who engage in farming, they planted those trees. The trees were there before the Forest Commission came and took over. So we are appealing to the government. If that land is given, as we engage in the farm activities, we will still engage in the planting of the trees for future generation.
It is not likely that the community will be able to benefit from the government flagship program of planting for food and jobs, as they have no land available for the program.
Planting for food, if the youth are ready to go into the land, they can acquire pieces of land and plant their crops. The women here too, they are also here doing nothing, idling. In fact, I would have wished that if government could intervene so that they can release these forests to the community so that we can call back the youth, they will come and invest and we plant and get food, enough food to feed ourselves and the nation.
Another issue of concern for the community is the deplorable condition of the Sookie Primary School. This school block was constructed 63 years ago and has never seen any form of renovation. Watching it from afar, you may have a feeling that all is well, but a closer look at it tells a different story. There are cracks or gaping holes all over the walls. It can simply be described as a death trap, as pupils and their teachers have fears studying under the pre-colonial building. To add insult to injury, a new classroom block that was constructed a handful of years ago was shortly done and has also started developing cracks on its walls.
We are calling on everybody, be it government, NGO or philanthropists, to come into our aid, because those children are our future leaders. So we want that the government should come into our aid and get us a very convenient and decent place where our future leaders can be educated.
Reporting for JoyNews, Rafiq Salam, Sookie.
The Director of Technical and Vocational Education and Training in the Upper East region, Augustine Gogoyire Ayirizang, is urging governments to invest in technical education, especially at the second cycle level, as this could be the driving force for sustainable employment and development in Ghana. He says the lack of adequate funding for these institutions could be detrimental to the development of the country. He made this call at the climax of the 50th anniversary celebrations of the Boco Technical Institute. Correspondent Albert Sorry now reports.
The Boco Technical Institute was established in 1967 by the Roman Catholic Mission with the aim of training mechanics whose job was to service and repair the Catholic Mission's vehicles. Government took over the school in 1973 and gradually expanded it. However, instructors here at the Boco Technical Institute complain that many of the equipment they use for training students have become obsolete. Speaking at the 50th anniversary celebrations of the Boco Technical Institute, Director of Technical and Vocational Education and Training, Augustine Gogoyire, called for an increase in government's budgetary allocations to technical and vocational education.
The TVET subsector receives, on the average, only about 2% of annual national education budgets. Only 2% of annual national education budgets. In 2013, the allocation to the TVET sector was only 1.5%, down from 2.7% in 2012, compared to 7.7% for preschool, 27.1% for primary schools, 20.0% for JSS, 18.6% for senior high schools, and 13.2% for tertiary education. Although according to the 2015 Education Strategic Plan report, the TVET share of the total education budget in 2014 has increased to 3.7%. Such low levels of investment in TVET cannot, Mr. Chairman, I repeat, cannot support high quality skills training, even given that the student spending on TVET courses is typically 3 times as high as spending per student in the general stream.
Principal of the Boco Technical Institute, Paul Atogbania, in his address, touted the school's progress over the years despite the challenges that it faces.
Currently, the student population has outgrown the infrastructure facilities in the school, especially classrooms and dormitories. It is in this regard that I make a passionate appeal to government, PTA, the Old Boys Association, and good friends of the school to come to our aid in the provision of more classrooms, dormitories, staff accommodation, potable water, tools and equipment to replace our absolute machinery and tools. The institute also lacks an assembly hall and an administration block. Mr. Chairman, as a technical institute, we place much premium on practical training, but this noble effort is being thwarted as a result of inadequate training material and obsolete machine and equipment.
For JoyNews, Albert Sorry, reporting from Boco.
We turn our attention to crime, and the Ghana Police Service has again warned persons who engage in lynching of suspects under the pretext of mob justice to desist from the act. The warning follows fresh report of similar incidents occurring after the gruesome murder of now Major Maxwell Adam Mahama in different parts of the country. JoyNews' Joseph Akable has been engaging the Deputy PRO of the service, who has since assured that the police is on top of the cases and will ensure all persons who engage in such attacks will be punished.
People must have confidence in the police, and in any case, it is up to all citizens to partner the police to prevent and fight crime. Every individual in the country must be responsible enough to want not to be involved in crime or to help fight crime. And so we must build trust and confidence in the police. My brother, I tell you, if we did not have confidence in the police, we wouldn't be enjoying the peace that we are enjoying in the country. The fact that there are 1 or 2 incidents shouldn't win people's trust. Let us continue to support the police, and let us continue to be partners against the fight, partners in the fight against crime, and we will all have a better place to live in the country.
Now, for mob injustice itself, what is the Ghana Police Service doing about that? Just today, we again had a report of someone being lynched over 1 city, 50 pesos, somewhere in Goma, Feten. It appears it's something that cuts across the country. You have people wanting to take their law into their own hands. What message does the Ghana Police Service have for them?
Fellow Ghanaians, it is not our duty as individuals to exact punishment. The only institution that the Constitution has given authority to exact punishment is the judiciary. If for any reason we believe that a person has committed a crime or has done anything wrong, it is not up to us. We do not have the authority to want to punish the person by throwing gadgets or by hurting the person or even in the process murdering the person. If we see anybody that we suspect to have committed crime, let us hand the person over to the police. We can call the police. We can go to the nearest police station. We can even fall on the media, because now the media is helping us a lot. With this investigation that we are conducting, we get feed from the media as well, not just ordinary citizens. And so we shouldn't in any way, because if we don't take care, tomorrow it might happen to you, it might happen to me, and then we would know how painful it is. And so we plead with everyone, we shouldn't in any way think that we have the authority to exact punishment, because that particular act that you do, which might lead to the punishment of another without due process, might also be criminal. And when we get you, we will deal with you. You would face the full rigors of the law.
3 telecommunication companies operating the brands Airtel, Glo and Kasapa could be slapped with severe sanctions unless they are able to extend their services to Adaklu and surrounding communities in the Volta region, all in the next 6 months. This was disclosed by Communications Minister Ursula Owusu-Ekufo in a response to a motion filed by the MP for the area, Kwame Agboja, on the failure of these telcos to extend their coverage there. The minister noted that the regulator of Ghana Telecom sector, the National Communication Authority, has put in place systems to facilitate this movement. Hence, it will not hesitate to crack the whip on the matter.
Existing regulations enjoin all mobile network operators, MNOs, to achieve nationwide coverage with respect to their license obligations, 2G, and also cover all district capitals as part of their 3G license obligations. Mr. Speaker, 3 out of the 6 mobile network service providers operating in Ghana have full 2G and 3G services in Adaklu. The other 3 service providers, namely Airtel, Glo and Kasapa, have been directed by the National Communications Authority to provide coverage at Adaklu and its surrounding environs within 6 months or be sanctioned. In the particular case of Adaklu, KIFEC has provided a cell site as Wute and has conducted survey and drive tests in Ablonu, Kodiabe, Pebu, and other surrounding communities in the Adaklu area. These areas will be connected as part of the GIFEC Rural Telephony Project in the 3rd quarter of 2017. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry is working closely with the National Communications Authority to ensure that their oversight responsibility of the MNOs in respect of quality of service and coverage obligations is intensified.
Meanwhile, the minority in Parliament is threatening to slap contempt charges against the Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, if he fails to furnish the House with full documentation on the $2.25 billion bond when he appears before the House today. Former Deputy Finance Minister and the ranking member of the Finance Committee of Parliament, Atoke Silforson, says the resolution of the House leading to the Finance Minister's appearance must be strictly adhered to. According to him, the documentation on the bond would help settle the controversy surrounding the issuance of the $2.25 billion bond. Atoke Silforson has since been speaking with my colleague, Joseph Opoku-Gakpo, on the subject.
I think the resolution was very straightforward. We are calling the finance minister to present to this honorable house the full complement of the information relating to the recent $2.25 billion US. So we are only asking for documentation. We expect that he will come, not in the form of a statement, but obviously coming to this house to present the information to us. We didn't ask for a statement. We're only asking for documentation. So that is exactly what we are expecting, nothing more.
That's not the impression that your colleagues on the majority side gave. They are expecting him to be on the floor to deliver a statement.
And then not to give the documentation. Have you read the resolution? The resolution that was passed by this honorable house was specific that the minister responsible for finance should appear before this house and present to this honorable house the full complement of all the documentation relating to the issuance of the bond. That is what we asked for. It is not an action by minority. It will be contempt of parliament. To be a contempt of parliament because parliament was specific. The resolution was straightforward. No ambiguity involved. We said that present full complement of documentation. It will be a contempt to parliament because the resolution is clear by majority. I may be judging something that I have not received. Let him present the information. Let's look at the information. And then if there's an issue, maybe presenting the information will put the matter to rest.
How much of a game changer will this documentation make as far as your push for a whole probe into this?
I think the documentation may settle the anxiety. The documentations indeed will put to rest the issues relating to the bond. So let us not preempt what it's going to bring. I don't know what it's going to bring. Let him present it, and at that point, we will take a decision from there.
And logically, the majority side of the House is also looking forward to the appearance of the finance minister and says it will bring closure to the matter. Here is MP for Mpoho, Alexa Jacob.
Information have been thrown out there which are not correct. And I believe that this is the opportunity for us to ensure that the motion, the half-hour motion that is going to be made, we don't want a situation where there will be counter motions and other things and then drag issues. And that's why I think that the leadership, the majority leader and the rest have agreed that this thing be done tomorrow. One, it is going to address the issue of the fact that the whole thing, there was transparency in it, because this issue of bond doesn't come within 24 hours. So tomorrow I expect that he will explain and give detailed information as to how these things are done. So those who don't have the fact will know. Number two, the issue of interest will also be addressed, and the issue of conflict of interest and the rest.
And in fact, there's been a claim about causing financial loss to the state, according to the minority, to the tune of $5 billion US over the 15-year period.
Tomorrow, I expect that the finance minister will also address that issue, and then Ghanaians will be given the chance to know what is meant by causing financial loss to the state. Rather, we have to save the state.
And that's the end of the news ad bits we have for you this morning.